In the house, we had my brother that lived with us, my grandson, Jonathan, my husband, and my daughter. My husband suffers from PTSD, my daughter is bipolar, and Jonathan had emotional issues. In 2010, Good Friday morning at 1:30, we woke up to a house fire. My grandson at this time was 6 months old. He was ripped out of the crib and watched the house burnt completely to the ground. Jonathan didn't speak for 2 years. Then he got his kitten. Kitty Cat and him became best friends. She helped him overcome his fear. Shortly after we moved to Amato, we had a friend move in with us. His name was Wayne Edward Thames. We called him Bubba, and we lost him in 2015. Then we lost Rosie, Tupac, and Sparky. And the night after Carl buried Sparky, Carl passed away. Carl passed away right in front of Jonathan. He had just came in. He collapsed in front of Jonathan. Jonathan has now lost everything in a house fire, lost 2 people that he grew up knowing. And to teach him how to deal with his grief was very trying. But all in all, Jonathan is excelling. A child grieves differently than we do, and understanding that takes time.
Laura was a participant of our Arizona Kith and Kin project, which is a training and support group for family, friend, and neighbor care providers. Laura was brave enough to share her story with people that she had barely met, and with this she found a great sense of support and community.
Even though the house fire happened when Jonathan was 6 months, it still had a long-lasting effect on him. To this day, he still can't put it into words. Understanding that and understanding what he's been through and sharing that with the group that I was in really helped. At the program, we received a fire extinguisher, we received smoke detectors. Jonathan has a slight fear of fire, but he's been reassured. He knows we've got fire extinguishers in the vehicles, in the house, and where they're located. He's reached a place to where he feels pretty secure.
ASC understands that adults play a powerful role in the lives of children. With our programs, we want to make sure that we are empowering adults with not only the tools necessary, but the training and support piece so that they can guide these kids throughout their lives, similar to how we did with Laura.
Over the last 15 years, the scientists, thanks to new technologies allowing us to look inside a brain, have discovered such important information that even the scientists themselves were really surprised at how early a brain wires up. All caregivers, whether they are a family member, as Jonathan's grandmother, or center-based, or maybe the lady next door, each person needs to understand what the science is telling us so that we will be more intentional instead of doing things by accident. We've raised healthy children for a very long time by accident, and the science is helping us to do that now on purpose. One of the most exciting things about learning this information is once you know it, you want to just shout it from the rooftops and let everyone else know.
There are many Lauras and Jonathans out there that we can impact with this information. There's your neighbor and the child. There's auntie and Jonathan. Or how about teacher and child? Even administrators and teachers. And we do that by providing family support and education, meeting family, friends, and neighbors and parents where they're at, connecting with those teachers and providing the training and professional development needed to translate that brain science into their classrooms, and to connect with administrators for their understanding and knowing how to bring this information to their teachers, all to connect with making the outcomes for all the Jonathans out there the best that we can for Arizona's children.
I wish I were prophetic and knew what the next 10 years of research would bear out. But what I do know is we're going to be right there with our community partners, innovating and collaborating and coming up with new and interesting and effective ways to improve the lives of people like Jonathan. We're going to keep an eye on the data. It's projected that here in the state of Arizona by 2030, the number of children between birth and 5 will increase by 19%. We're also going to keep an eye on where those children are going to get care and educated. We're going to marry that with whatever new brain science comes out. We're going to pivot, learn, and refocus in order to come up with some of the best ways to improve the spirit of each and every child.